Hi, everyone, and welcome to our third Google for Startups Accelerator Women Founders Virtual Demo Day, celebrating the amazing accomplishments of our 2022 cohort. My name is Ashley Francisco, and I lead Google's startup ecosystem efforts across North America. Today, I have the absolute honor of introducing you to the 12 startups in this year's cohort and the impressive women founders who lead them. In June of this year, we opened applications for our third annual Google for Startups Accelerator Women Founders cohort. In just 4 weeks, we received hundreds of applications from women-led companies across Canada and the US. And we could not be more excited for you to hear from the 12 startups selected and their talented leaders. Over the last 3 months, our founders and their teams have been through a Google Masterclass focused on OKRs, product road mapping, design, UX, cloud infrastructure, AI, machine learning, growth marketing, sales, leadership, and more. And today is a celebration of everything they have accomplished so far and a look ahead at where they're headed next. So with that, let's get started. Each startup will have 5 minutes to share their story with you and to respond to one question. So be sure to ask any questions that you may have in the chat during their presentations. First up, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Tina Williams-Caroma, founder and CEO of SciDeploy. Based in Baltimore, Maryland, SciDeploy provides an intelligent, automated configuration and patch testing solution that enables customers to make security changes quickly and with confidence.
Hi, I'm Tina Williams-Caroma, founder of SciDeploy. So I want to tell you a story about Dante. Dante is a systems administrator at a large US organization, large is defined as 1,000 or more employees. And Dante has the responsibility for ensuring that his organization systems stay secure. So making updates such as patches, deploying patches, security configurations, etc. At the same time, Dante has to balance making security updates with ensuring that those updates don't break anything, having an adverse functional impact on his organization's systems, causing operational inefficiencies. It's a pretty tall order, but there are millions of Dantes working in organizations throughout the United States. And organizations struggle with this same balance. However, the delays that they make in making security updates is what's yielding an 80% statistic of security breaches that are caused by misconfigured and unpatched systems, basically systems that haven't been updated in a timely manner. So each of those breaches costs approximately $4.2 million per breach per organization, a pretty expensive problem. And organizations are currently approaching this issue in one of 3 ways. One of the ways in which they approach this is to just do a spray and pray approach. They prioritize security updates above all, particularly operational inefficiencies, and they make those security updates ASAP and just have to clean things up afterwards if there's some sort of adverse functional impact. Other organizations take an approach to do a limited deployment to production, and they have a certain number of users test out or just use the system the way they normally would as a quote unquote test. And if those users don't report anything wonky happening as they do their regular day-to-day work, then the organization assumes that after 2 or 3 weeks of that, it's okay to go ahead and deploy those updates to the rest of the environment or the organization. The last way is having a test environment where organizations do manual functional testing and they determine the functional impact of any patch or configuration setting before deploying it to production. That last method of using a test environment and performing functional tests is certainly the most ideal when you consider the operational inefficiencies that could happen if there's an adverse functional impact to the systems, but it's also very resource intensive. However, that's where SciDeploy really shines. SciDeploy provides a remote test bed for where organizations can take a digital twin of their system and run functional tests before making security updates to those digital twins and functional tests afterwards. And those functional tests are automated functional tests provided through SciDeploy. That way, organizations can get clarity on the functional impact of making changes to their environment before they push them to production. This is a huge opportunity that SciDeploy is embarking upon. The total addressable market is about $64 billion. And then narrowing that in further to our serviceable market, we're looking at a $2 billion opportunity. Right now, we're in the phase of doing paid pilots and looking to take those paid pilot customers and transition them into annual contract customers. And we are looking forward to a scale and preparation for exit by the time we get to the end of 2026. We have a great team. I've been in the cybersecurity field for over 20 years. My co-founder, David, he and I started working together over 15 years ago. He has a very complementary career to mine with an expertise in infrastructure and engineering. He's leading our engineering team. We have great advisors who include exited tech entrepreneurs and those with specific expertise in cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, which are two key technologies in SciDeploy. We are looking forward to great things upcoming. And if you have any questions, I look forward to answering them now. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for kicking us off, Tina. Our viewers are asking if SciDeploy is a standard patch management tool, which is quite a crowded space. And if not, what market does your tool fit in?
Thank you so much for the question. And I certainly understand that question. So let me paint a picture for you. In the context of vulnerability and patch management, that sort of program that an enterprise might have, certainly SciDeploy is a tool that can be used as a broader part of a vulnerability and patch management program. However, on the one side, there's a lot of automation in the space of identifying vulnerabilities. So various types of vulnerability scanners, some examples being Tenable Nessus or Qualys, et cetera. So you have a lot of automation on identifying vulnerabilities, those security issues that need to change or be updated in an environment. On the other end, you have a lot of what I call patch management and patch deployment sorts of tools. Those tools use automation to deploy patches broadly in organizations to thousands of devices in an efficient manner. So those are what I would categorize as your typical patch management, patch deployment types of tools. Where SciDeploy sits is in between the identification of the vulnerabilities or the security issues and the deploying of the fixes to correct those issues. And SciDeploy at its core is really providing a solution of automated functional tests. That is the core value of SciDeploy. And allowing organizations to run a suite of functional tests to understand what the functional impact might be of fixing those security issues they identified before they deploy those fixes to their production environment. So that's where SciDeploy fits as an automated functional testing solution to allow organizations to understand that impact prior to deploying to production.
Thanks again, Tina. Up next, we'll be hearing from Farm Generations Cooperative based in Germantown, New York. Farm Generations and the Grown By platform offers fair technology for the future of small farms. Over to you, Lindsay.
Hi there, I'm Lindsay Lesher-Shute, CEO and co-founder of Grown By. Grown By brings shoppers and farmers together. It's a two-sided marketplace app. It's essentially a farmer's market in your pocket. Do you remember what it was like to go grocery shopping in 2020? It was a pretty scary thing. There were empty produce sections, meat cases that might have just had a few items left, ransacked pasta shelves. It was the first time that many of us had experienced real food scarcity, and it was stressful, and particularly for families that were facing financial insecurity at the very same time. For many of us, it exposed cracks in the U.S. food system, a food system that over the last 50 years has become more and more consolidated, where just a handful of companies and areas of the country supply most of the US food supply. Like, for instance, with pork, there are 4 companies that actually supply half of all of the pork that we consume in the United States. And so those big companies, they couldn't shift during COVID, and we had some pretty serious impacts because of that. But at the same time, the small guys, the small farmers during COVID, they did incredible things. They adapted, they were nimble, and they got food out to their communities. And as a result, those businesses grew 30 to 50% during COVID. And beyond just that growth, they made these incredible new customer relationships. Just a couple of weeks ago at my own family's farm, I was helping a mom and her toddler into their car. They had a bunch of groceries, and was just, said, "Thank you for shopping here." And the mom turns to me, she looks me right in the eye, and she said, "Thank you. I drove 30 minutes to get here today. My husband thinks I am absolutely crazy for doing that, but I come here because your farm fed me during COVID-19. And that is why I come here every single week." Those are the kinds of relationships that COVID helped farmers build. COVID taught us that local food must be our future. COVID is not the last shock to the food system that we're going to experience in our lifetimes. With climate change, hurricanes, drought, new pests, another pandemic, we don't know what's next, but we need a food system that is more resilient and can withstand shocks like the one we experienced with COVID. That's why we built Grown By, to help small farmers capture more of the US food marketplace, to help them become bigger players. We believe that it is achievable for everyone to eat local, not just rich people, not just folks who might have time on Saturday mornings to go to the farmer's market, but this is really possible for everyone. And we do this by offering convenience. We make it easy to get local food, whether you're picking it up, whether it's being delivered to you or shipped. We offer competitive prices. When farmers know they have a guaranteed sale, they can actually lower their prices, and selection. Any farm in the US can participate. On the farmer side, we help those farmers grow and capture more of the market because we ease their operational challenges with inventory and with distribution, and also just finding customers. And our special sauce, the thing that we do that nobody else does, is that we include farmers in the company. We're an agricultural cooperative, meaning that farmers are owners of our app. And this makes them feel heard, seen, and they know that they can trust us into the future. So traction, so far we have 120 farms that have signed up and are selling on Grown By, a couple hundred more that are in the process of doing so, and we're adding new farms each week. Just an anecdote from a training that we did recently. I didn't have a panic attack at the beginning of starting a new season, and it is due 100% to Grown By. That is exactly what we're here for, to help farmers sell more easily. On the shopper side, we have 5,200 customers that have made purchases so far on Grown By. That's about 40 customers per farm. Customers spending on average about $250 on their orders. So opportunity, there's 147,000 farms in the United States that could benefit from our services, and there's estimated $20 billion of unmet demand for local food. I have an incredible team that I'm working with at Grown By. Mike and I met at the National Young Farmers Coalition, an organization that I co-founded in 2010 and led for 10 years. Mike has deep experience as a business owner and providing technical support to farmers. And I met our CTO and co-founder, Ravi Kumar Ramanathan, during the Food System 6 Accelerator. Ravi brings decades of tech experience to our team. He was most recently the VP of an AI vision team at Array. Right now, we're raising $1.6 million to grow Grown By to more areas of the country. This is going to go to engineering to incorporate more farm sales, to improve our consumer experience, to get our community team out to more farmers markets, which has been a really successful way of lead generation, and to do consumer marketing campaigns. So if you have a farm shop on Grown By, we want to send consumers to you. Google, thank you so much for including us in the accelerator, and we look forward to speaking to you more about Grown By.
Such important work. A question for you. Why wouldn't a farmer just set up a Shopify site or a Square page? What incremental value does Grown By provide the farmer?
That's a great question. And in fact, many farmers do get started selling online with sites like generic providers like Shopify and Square. But they quickly realized that selling local food with a generic provider doesn't work very well. It doesn't really represent their inventory, decimal weights, things like cuts of meat, cuts of cheese, that type of thing is challenging and it can be really expensive. The other thing is that to customize those sites, it is also pretty expensive and they lack discoverability. So they don't have the opportunity for consumers to find them through an app. So that's really where Grown By stands out.
Inspiring work. Now I'm thrilled to introduce 05, a San Mateo, California-based startup transforming parking garages from simple storage spaces into tech-enabled mobility service hubs through automation.
Hi, my name is Sarah. We started 05 with a passion for cars and an obsession with efficiency. At 05, we are transforming parking spaces into tech-enabled mobility service hubs for all vehicles from level 0 to 5 autonomy. If you have a car, I'm sure you've all had this experience where you go to meet your friend, get there early, but end up being late because you can't find parking. Parking is always a guessing game because there's no accurate and live data. So we looked into why no such data is available, and two core problems we identified were first, moving parts like tickets, cash, permit tags, and validation stickers, and second, manual operations. These labor-intensive operations result in high labor costs and the industry is losing valuable data. But for real estate companies to monetize their parking spaces today, their only option is to work with parking companies and pay high service fees and do revenue sharing. So to tackle the industry's core problems, we built a solution that automates the entire parking operations using computer vision technology and a cloud-native parking management solution. And this is how it works. We replace ticketing systems with cameras, so when the car pulls up to the entry, the gate opens. And at the exit, we recognize the vehicle's payment status and take an action. All this is digitized and connected to our cloud solution. With our solution in place, parking lots are fully automated, so they can run without any operator. But for cases where a human needs to step in, it can be done remotely, and one person can be managing multiple sites at once using our solution. And we collect data that's beyond just parking. The data we collect ranges from vehicle data to how people behave within the property by integrating with third parties like POS systems or EV charging stations. And through this data, we understand the changes in the mobility market and serve those demands by utilizing parking spaces. With 05 solution, parking garages can adapt to new trends and continue to maximize utilization. And as you can imagine, the parking market is full of opportunities for innovations, and the market is in desperate need of parking solutions, smart solutions. The US off-street parking market generates over $21 billion in annual revenue, and our solution handles all revenue streams except for the others, which include cleaning, insurance, and etc. And as the mobility market evolves, there will be much bigger opportunities with fleet management and different mobility services using existing parking spaces. This is an example of how we are helping our clients. It's a mixed-use property in Texas with restaurants, retails, offices, event venues, and more. And with our solution in place, the parking lot is generating over $200,000 per month without any parking operator. We offer a much lower operational cost because we eliminate all labor costs. Our subscription fee is for our clients to simply access our cloud solution. And a traditional revenue sharing percentage varies from 10 to 30%, but we charge less than 5% as a transaction fee. And we are a hardware agnostic company, but we have the capability to deliver a full system through our hardware partner. Because they're also our strategic investors, we can provide a very cost-competitive system to our clients. And we provide data analytics to optimize their revenue opportunities. After looking at the first 3 months data, we suggested to our clients updating the parking policy, and the result was 60% increase in revenue. Jay and I both had startup experiences before and understood that startup is all about getting it done. And that's what we've been doing. From going door to garages and real estate companies to learn and build a network, to standing in parking lots 10 hours a day to understand user behavior and get honest feedback on our solution. And we are fortunate to have 8 more team members who share our vision and passion. We raised $2 million for our seed round earlier last year, and we are raising $6 million. We launched a robust product and validated our product market fit. And now we are raising to use this momentum to scale and introduce new products to the market. Thank you for listening today, and please let me know if you want to connect and chat more.
Thanks, Sarah. Can you tell us how you're working to scale your business?
We started by offering an end-to-end solution with both hardware and software so we can provide the best experience to our customers. But our solution is built to be hardware agnostic so we can plug into existing systems, and our customers don't need to invest in new systems to adopt and benefit from our solution. We also provide benefits to all parties involved, from real estate companies to parking consultants and parking companies. And these companies always have multiple portfolios they manage, and our partnership allows us to scale through their portfolio and their network.
Amazing. Thank you, 05. Up next, we have MedAssist, a Toronto, Ontario, Canada-based healthcare delivery platform enabling digital health, diagnostic, and pharmaceutical companies to leverage a pharmacy's physical space and trusted healthcare professionals to scale innovative solutions. Take it away, Joella.
Hello, everyone. We're so excited to get this opportunity today. MedAssist is a healthcare delivery platform enabling digital health, diagnostic, pharmaceutical, and public health organizations to leverage local pharmacies to scale innovative solutions. Did you know that you can predict someone's life expectancy based on where they were born? One of the reasons for this is that people access the healthcare that's available in their community. The healthcare system has always struggled with accessibility, equitable care, and with the inability to scale innovative solutions efficiently. This has contributed to a system where 2 people can live 10 miles apart and have a 30-year difference in life expectancy. At MedAssist, we're changing the healthcare system forever by decentralizing care through trusted community pharmacies that are already embedded in communities across the country. So why pharmacies? 93% of patients live within 5 miles of a pharmacy across North America. Community pharmacies are ripe for disruption. It's a huge, overlooked industry that is desperate for modernization. Equally important is that pharmacies operate in a very similar manner across the country and even across the world. So when we launch new initiatives through our platform, they are often scaled instantaneously. MedAssist not only provides pharmacies with the best digital storefront, thanks to Google, but the storefront is connected to a comprehensive back-end dashboard that pharmacies use every single day to manage their schedule, their communications, their documentation, and even their payments. Therefore, we're not just empowering pharmacies to offer more services for their community, we're creating the capacity and streamlined workflow for their success as well. Now, this is a live demo, and as a patient, I can conveniently access all the usual pharmacy services like prescriptions, vaccinations, and different consultations. But I can also access so many different services that traditionally weren't available at pharmacies, such as at-home health testing, virtual healthcare, diagnostic testing, and so much more. Equally important is the back-end dashboard that allows pharmacies to customize the storefront. Everything from branding, colors, instructions, deciding what services they want to offer can be adjusted instantaneously. This dashboard is also critical because it houses all the tools and resources to enable pharmacies to offer these services in person at the pharmacy as well. So in essence, MedAssist is Shopify for the healthcare system. We're directly connecting the healthcare system with local pharmacies. We've supported over a dozen public health initiatives, from COVID vaccines and testing to reducing emergency room visits by providing non-urgent minor ailment care at our pharmacies. We're currently working with diagnostic companies, digital health, and leading pharmaceutical companies as well. Thanks to the support of this Google Accelerator program, we've just launched in the US, and we're currently looking to partner with more digital health companies right here in the US as well. Pharmacies love us because we help them reach more patients, increase their revenue, streamline their marketing, and all of this value is easily trackable in the platform. We've served over 500,000 patients in the last 12 months alone, and we're only just getting started. The reason we've had so much traction is because patients see their pharmacists 2 to 8 times more than their primary care providers. Pharmacies serve 2,500 to 3,500 patients on average, and this is consistent around the world. Michael has been a manager of an independent pharmacy for close to 10 years. He loves being a pharmacist, and he also has a strong technical background and loves to code. In fact, he even teaches coding to pharmacy students on Sunday mornings. My experience comes from operationalizing sales enablement at a payments company and as an ex-Shopify partner for small businesses. I don't think you could find a better duo to grow this business. Together, we've got the industry knowledge, the technical background, and small business sales and payments experience to take Medicis to the next stage. And over half of our team has worked in community pharmacies, and over half of our devs come from a pharmacy background as well. We've worked through the thick of the pandemic and launched over 24 product lines for our customers. We also want to say thank you to this awesome accelerator program that is helping women founders with amazing mentorship and learning. At Medicis, over 50% of our team are women, and exactly 50% of our engineers are women. This is important to us because the majority of pharmacists are women. In fact, in some regions, 70% of pharmacists are women. Thank you so much. If you're a healthcare provider, an innovator, and you see a pharmacist recommending your service, device, or medical product, please feel free to reach out to us. If you're a pharmacy watching this, of course, please reach out to us, and we'd love to help you grow your business. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can you share more about the benefit for a digital health company to partner with Medicis?
Thank you so much for the question. As the digital health ecosystem evolves, there needs to be better ways of reaching patients. How do we enable digital health to be viewed and trusted just like traditional healthcare? Especially if we want to reach patients that may be at risk of health inequalities, such as older patients, diverse communities, patients in rural areas. Direct-to-consumer advertisement can only go so far. It can't be the only option. However, pharmacies are the perfect channel for that. They have the trust, the space, the community access, and now with our solution, they have a step-by-step guide to training, marketing, documentation, payments, and everything else that's needed to help these communities in new, exciting ways.
Thanks so much, Joella. Next, I'm happy to introduce you to Anika from Blossom Social, a Vancouver-based startup building Canada's first social brokerage, combining mobile-first stock trading with a social community for investors.
Hey everyone, my name is Anika and I'm the co-founder of Blossom Social. Let me start with a story. You're new to the stock market. You just downloaded a stock trading app, but you don't know where to start. You open up Reddit and Twitter and ask others what you should invest in, but get bombarded with judgmental, inaccurate, and bad advice from anonymous users. You finally find someone who looks credible, join their Discord, and end up acting on some questionable advice, losing a bunch of money. This is the experience for many new investors today. Investing can be a scary place. Gen Z and millennial investors are desperate for a community, but all the communities on the internet kind of suck because they're not tied to real investing activity and you don't know who to trust. And this isn't a one-off story. In fact, Gen Z and millennial investors are 3 times more likely to go to friends and online communities for advice than to financial advisors. This is a generational shift that's here to stay. Now, imagine if that stock trading app that you downloaded had a community embedded, tailor-made for investors that lets you see real portfolios, trades, and performance of friends and other investors. Now you don't have to invest alone. This is Blossom. Blossom is building Canada's first social brokerage, combining mobile-first stock trading with a social community for investors. So, where are we today? While we're not quite a brokerage just yet, we've gone live with our first version, which connects to a user's existing brokerages and provides a social layer on top. We expect to launch our brokerage in September of 2023 and allow users to buy and sell stocks directly in the app then. So, how does Blossom work today? Let me give you a quick overview of the app. So on Blossom, your profile is your portfolio. To show your holdings, you simply link Blossom to your brokerage accounts, which imports your data to display a percentage breakdown of your holdings visible to other users. And since most of our active users link their brokerages, our activity feed has much richer content than any other generic social platform. Not only is it all investing focused, but users can easily link to stock charts, portfolios, and much more. And if you want to drill down deeper, you can click into a user's profile to see their portfolio. And if you find an investor that you like, you can follow them and get notified when they make new trades. We just launched our app in May of this year, so we have many new features to come, including charts, research tools, and much more. And since launch, we've been growing fast. Over the last 6 months, we've more than 10x our users from 250 to over 2,700 users with a 51% monthly growth rate. We have a strong base of engaged users with $19 million in linked assets from brokerage accounts. Okay, so why is this a good business opportunity? Well, the Canadian brokerage space is a $25 billion market with strong growth. Can you build a billion-dollar business here? Absolutely. Wealthsimple is worth $5 billion alone, and the rest of the Canadian brokerage market is dominated by slow-moving big banks that struggle to innovate. So how do we win in this market? Well, I think we're all tired of the competitive analysis slides that just show the startup winning in every dimension, so I'll make it simple. To believe in Blossom, you need to believe that the social community is strong enough differentiator to capture market share. Plain and simple. And don't worry, we have more evidence than just trust us. So around the world, we've seen this strategy be used to build billion-dollar businesses. In the UK, Shares.io raised $90 million in funding, led by Peter Thiel's VC. And in the US, Public.com built a $1.2 billion business in less than 2 years, growing to over 1 million users. Now, that's fast. So how are we growing fast? Well, most of our growth to date has been organic, but our next phase of growth is through influencers, or as we call them, ambassadors, as they also engage and share on the Blossom app themselves. Brandon Beavis, one of Canada's biggest investing YouTubers, has taken a major role with Blossom, investing in our round and coming on the team to lead our ambassador program. So we truly have deep expertise in this arena. How do we make money? Well, we're not doing anything fancy here. We make money the same way as other Canadian brokerages such as Wealthsimple via currency exchange fees. And yeah, this isn't what we're innovating on, so why change what works? And we also have the right team for the job. I personally come from a background in Canadian banking, so I understand the ecosystem intimately, and my co-founders are also absolute rock stars coming from McKinsey and Samsung. And the only people more impressive than our team are our investors, with backing from Ryan Holmes, the founder of Hootsuite, and strategic investors from McKinsey, Google, and prominent investing-focused YouTubers. In September, we finalized an oversubscribed pre-seed round of $750K, bringing our total funding to $1.1 million and giving us 14 months of runway. And we're currently raising a bridge round of $300K to meet the capital requirements set by IROC for our brokerage registration. So if you're interested in participating, please let us know before the end of December. We'd absolutely love to chat. And for everyone else, join Blossom, join the community, and together we can make investing more accessible by making it social. Thank you.
Thanks, Anika. Everyone is eager to know, do you have expansion plans for Blossom beyond Canada?
Yeah, great question. So the short answer is we're still determining the best expansion plan for Blossom. What we've seen is at the start of the decade, the standard approach for fintech was to own one segment and then scale it globally. But since the regulations differ from market to market, this has actually made international expansion really difficult for fintechs. So nowadays, the preferred model seems to be becoming a fintech super app. So using brand recognition and trust to expand into more verticals within the same geography. One great example of this is actually Wealthsimple here in Canada. They recently sold their US and UK book of business just to focus on Canada solely. And they've been rolling out new products under their existing brand like Wealthsimple Tax, Wealthsimple Cash. And so, yeah, we've seen this to be a solid model that fintechs are taking nowadays.
I love it. Up next, I'm thrilled to introduce our last presentation before our intermission. Kat Shane is the co-founder and CEO of CERT, or Can I Recycle This? Based in Athens, Georgia, CERT builds software and uses AI to digitize the circularity of products and packaging for the modern world, helping customers go zero waste.
Hi, I'm Kat Shane, co-founder and CEO of CERT. I'm an environmental engineer and researcher in global materials management, and I'm here to talk some trash. This isn't a dump or landfill. In fact, it's a tributary of the Potomac River in an upscale neighborhood in DC. And it's an active waterway that has been choked with single-use plastic and other materials. This tributary eventually makes its way into the Atlantic Ocean, and it takes all of this material with it. And this problem isn't unique to DC. This is happening every day across the globe. My co-founder and chief science officer, Dr. Jenna Jambeck, published a study in 2016 that found 8 million metric tons of plastic finds its way into our oceans every year. This is equivalent to one garbage truck filled with plastic dumped into the ocean every minute. Some claim that at this rate, there will be more plastic than fish in our oceans by 2050. And that's just plastic debris entering the ocean. Now consider all the other materials that are waste outputs and are potentially leaking into our environment. Upstream solutions like recycling can help, but they are very complex. Currently, potentially recoverable and valuable material isn't being collected and recirculated. That's billions of dollars of recoverable material ending up as waste. To illustrate the complexity of recycling and waste management, let's take a look at this example. Like many of you, I have to fly, and like many of you, I've gotten a coffee mid-flight to wake me up on my way to my destination. The coffee cup in that picture was recyclable in Atlanta when I left, but was bound for landfill in Boston. That's due to a varying set of recycling rules that change per municipality across the US. Now think of all the different products and packaging that are on flights and the amount of places that we fly. How we help solve this problem at CERT is that we are recycling communication for the modern world. When you ask, can I recycle this? We have the answer. And we go beyond just recycling to cover reuse, refillables, and drop-off schemes. We aggregate products, packaging, and location-specific recycling rules to help companies with verifying their materials recovery at a hyper-local level and accelerate their move towards becoming part of the circular economy. Companies tell us about their packaging, and we help them find where it's recoverable and even identify and replace problematic materials. CERT works with producers and manufacturers of packaging that service those brands and corporates to supply them with sustainable packaging. Our process is that the first thing we do is upload products and packaging. Then we show recoverability results in the US and Canada. We can model packaging swaps and deploy consumer-facing tools. Consumers and buyers want to buy sustainable goods, and CERT helps companies differentiate themselves via a tech-forward, sustainable approach. And producers are running into impending extended producer responsibility regulations and mandated sustainability goals. Having actionable intelligence about recycling and materials recovery helps promote a circular economy. We have over 110 million people covered in our network, and that's 1 in 3 people. Our early adopters come from a variety of industries, but we have 3 major pilot projects that are paid with AB InBev, Delta Airlines, and Bees. We have substantial inbound interest and are constantly fielding packaging company requests for our product, and they're really part of the solution. While this is really affecting multiple industries, our go-to-market strategy is with those packaging manufacturers and producers because one of their biggest pain points is to retain and attract new brands and corporates that have aggressive recycled content goals. So our business model is B2B SaaS, and we help packaging manufacturers and producers reach their client base through a subscription model. We have a one-time setup fee and a recurring monthly or annual fee. On our way towards 100 million in revenue, each of our packaging partners has the ability to bring us 20 brand or corporate partners. With this, we will be able to reach 25 million in revenue by 2025. The circular economy is a massive opportunity. We look to dominate 10% of the market by servicing 1,000 companies in 7 years, which is equivalent to $1 billion. Our team is made up of engineers, researchers, marketing and sales professionals, developers, and creatives. We have a MacArthur Fellow Genius Grant recipient, State Department speaker, former Nat Geo Fellow, and One Young World Lead 2030 Challenge winner in our ranks. Our team is presented at the UN and numerous international bodies on global materials management. And we've sold to and delivered for Facebook, Delta, United Airlines, Coca-Cola, and more. And this isn't our first rodeo. We've worked together to design, build, and deploy an open source citizen science app, now backed by Morgan Stanley, Nat Geo, and NOAA. We ask you to join us. At the end of the day, we're talking trash, saving companies money, boosting their sales, and helping them move towards a clean world along the way. We ask you to invest in our seed round, help us grow our team, and join us in reducing pollution. Thank you.
Such a needed solution, Kat. Can you share more about how companies benefit from using the CERT platform beyond a sustainability value add?
So companies that use the CERT platform are packaging producers and manufacturers who want to offer a competitive product in the market. And so their customers are CPGs, so that's consumer packaged goods companies, brands and corporates who are looking for sustainable packaging solutions. And so through CERT, we help companies retain their clients and attract new clients by offering our service in the market.
And with that, we've reached the halfway point of today's program. I hope you're all as inspired as I am. A tremendous thank you and congratulations to the 6 founders we've heard from so far. And before we dive into the second half, let's take a look back at the journey our startups have been on over the last 10 weeks. So sit back and enjoy, but don't go anywhere. After the 5-minute intermission ends, we will hear from our remaining 6 companies. Welcome, everyone. Here we are, day 1 of our 2022 Women Founders cohort. I am so thrilled to be able to put faces to names and hear more about all of the technologies that you're building to change the world. So let's get started.
We aim to reduce uncompensated care for patients, improve outcomes, and have a meaningful impact on health equity.
We maximize reimbursement for hospitals by automating their medical coding.
Our mission is to make investing more accessible by making it social.
We aim to create actionable intelligence for materials recovery.
Our startup is focused on helping organizations reduce the time between when they find out a vulnerability and they remediate that vulnerability.
We offer a non-intrusive emotion analytics.
Our goal is to provide fair technology for small farmers in the United States.
Our aim is to help veterinary workers work how they want, love the work they do, and care for more pets, and find the jobs that they love.
Hi, my name's Jacqueline. I'm the CTO of Generable, and we are predicting how well drugs work in oncology.
We aim to change pharmacies and turn them into healthcare hubs, but we're also working with large pharma companies, and we help those pharma companies educate pharmacists about the drugs they're making.
What we aim to do is innovate how companies manage and resolve agency notices.
Our vision is to transform parking spaces from just simple storage space into more of a tech-enabled mobility service hubs.
The program kicks off with bespoke OKRs for each startup team. From there, we dive into product and design UX.
Prototyping is an activity that we do, but it's not a stage in the development process. We should do prototyping many, many times throughout the earlier stages to learn very specific things.
Next, we focus on technical infrastructure and AI and machine learning.
You're in the early days of building your mission statements and your organization's core values, and those things can be a guide for a principles-based approach to responsible innovation for technology development.
This is one of the highlights for me. I always enjoy working with the startup founders, and I learned so much about different areas, different applications that you guys are working on.
Next up, Growth Week, tackling digital marketing, brand building, and sales strategy.
I think of marketing as a funnel where we talk about building awareness, consideration, driving that purchase. And then eventually, once you've driven the purchase, ensuring that the customer comes back, you're growing loyalty and getting a repeat purchase all over again.
So last week was my absolute favorite week with the Google Accelerator. It was all focused on sales and growth, and I have so many takeaways and things that I plan to use for customer and prospective customer engagement.
And we conclude with all things people and leadership.
Product inclusion, as we define it at Google, overlays the product development lifecycle. We think about it as an end-to-end system. And for me, when I think about this system, I also think about it as a value system.
And then we take a small moment to celebrate with a demo day and graduation.
Hi, everyone. Huge congratulations for graduating from the Startup Accelerator program. We are so proud of you. It was amazing to see all of you last week and get the chance to see your businesses and hear more. And just know that you're doing trailblazing work and are an inspiration to so many of us, and just wish you all the very best as you graduate.
Founders, it has been such an honor to work alongside you and your teams for the last 10 weeks. We are so impressed with all that you've accomplished, and we cannot wait to see what you do next.
Congratulations!
Welcome back, everyone. It's been such an inspiring 3 months to work alongside these teams. And now back to our presentations. Up next, we'll be hearing from Generable. Generable develops best-in-class Bayesian machine learning models to improve efficiency of oncology drug development.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline, founder and CTO of Generable, and we're on a mission to improve drug development, starting with oncology, by predicting how well drugs work. Where about 20% of vaccine trials fail in phase 3, this number is close to 75% in cancer trials. Each failure in phase 3 represents an enormous opportunity cost, whether measured in patients' time, dollars, or the other drugs that were not taken forward to phase 3. Now, there are a number of reasons why this failure rate is so high. And one of them is the widespread use of something called the objective response rate to evaluate which drugs are worth continuing to the next phase and which should be abandoned. Objective response rate involves essentially simply counting the number of patients who meet some threshold of response. And thresholding in this way not only throws away useful information like the strength and the duration of the response, but it also is a noisy measure, meaning it's not uncommon to see in a sample size of about 30 patients, 1 or 2 who meet this threshold by chance alone. The end result is that we're leaving this important decision up to what is essentially a coin flipping model. So the chief science officer at a small biotech or a large pharma company has a challenging task. I want you to imagine for a moment that you are in this position, making critical decisions at each step of the process based on the readouts from a small trial with around 30 patients and no control arm. Even though you know this measure is not perfect, you rely on it and you do the best you can with the information you have. A friend of mine at a pharma company likened this to reading the tea leaves to try to predict which drugs would work. We believe there's a better way. Generable is developing a human-assisted Bayesian machine learning platform to support and optimize decision-making for early oncology drug portfolios. We start by estimating the treatment effect holistically, looking at the changes in longitudinal biomarkers like tumor size and immune markers that occur while on treatment. These changes in biomarkers can be used to assess the likely magnitude, duration, and other characteristics of the response. These characteristics are things that we know are strongly correlated with overall survival, and in fact can reliably predict overall survival for patients in existing therapies. So once we've characterized the treatment response, the next step is to benchmark these characteristics against the expected responses for similar patients treated on different therapies. To do this, we've compiled a database of over 15 trials with patient-level data representing close to 7,000 patients, and are ingesting new data from hundreds of trials that have been published in the literature. And because we're using generative models, we can learn a lot more detailed characteristics from the published literature than we would learn just by using the average effects alone. We use this database to benchmark each patient's response against an expectation on the control arm, providing a detailed report on the efficacy of the drug and helping to inform your development strategy. We've developed and validated our models with leading pharma companies, including AstraZeneca, Roche, and Merck, and co-published the results in academic journals. So Generable spun out of the Columbia Stats Department in 2017, where our co-founders co-developed something called the STAN programming language, a leading probabilistic programming language for Bayesian modeling. Our co-founder, Eric, has led the Generable's journey in oncology drug development since 2017. He teaches Bayesian data analysis at the NYU Steinhardt School and was a VP at an investment bank previously. I myself am Jacqueline, our co-founder and CTO. I have over 20 years of experience in clinical trial data analysis, biostatistics, and Bayesian methods. I was the director of statistics and data analysis at Harvard Clinical Research Institute, a lead analyst for the International Genomics Project in Alzheimer's, and a lead statistician at the Institute for Next Generation Healthcare at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York. We're also backed by a strong advisory board of experts in both drug development and Bayesian modeling. And together, we've been hyper-focused on just this problem for the past 4 years. If you are interested in learning more, setting up a pilot, or engaging in a research collaboration, please contact us. I look forward to hearing from you. And I also want to thank you, Ashley, and the Google for Startups team. This has been such an amazing experience for us. I'm curious to know if there are any questions from the audience.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Can you give us an example of a customer you work with and how using your platform has impacted them?
Thanks, Ashley. That's a great question. One example that comes to mind occurred early in a collaboration with a large pharma company where we were scoping a validation study. So we're working with their quantitative pharmacology group and debating different methods of validating the methods that we're bringing to the table. And midway through this debate about how best to validate the question, one of the physicians, a clinical lead, interrupted the conversation and said, you know, while you guys are doing your validation, let's just put this in practice. I would like to start using this on my trials right now because this is something we needed yesterday. We can't wait for months for a validation to finish before we start testing it in real data. And this is something we hear often from our customers, particularly those on the clinical side. They really want to be able to identify the winners and the losers earlier and more reliably so that we're not wasting cycles in this process. And that's what we're bringing to the table, is this ability to really identify the winners and losers sooner and with greater reliability.
Thank you. Now I'll turn it over to Laura Robbins, co-founder and COO of Advocacia. Based in Illinois, Advocacia powers healthcare organizations with the ability to engage and enroll their customers into programs that reduce costs and improve outcomes.
I'm Laura Robbins, the co-founder and COO of Advocacia. At Advocacia, we are on a mission to reduce cost, improve health outcomes, and have a meaningful impact on health equity. We are doing this through benefit identification and enrollment into programs like Medicaid, financial programs, and social determinants of health like SNAP, WIC, and LIHEAP. Let me tell you a little bit about what this process looks like historically. This process started in the 1980s with a law firm that had a 33% contingency fee. When that fee dropped with the commoditization in the market, Patients with low dollar amounts that were in locations like emergency rooms and clinics no longer received direct assistance. This assistance is still being done today through face-to-face, pen and paper, mail, and phone calls. These processes are taking a long time for patients and organizations that are serving patients and members today. It's too costly and too complicated to enroll into programs that the under-resourced are eligible for, leaving the individuals with no opportunities to simply enroll and access the care that they need today. Many of these programs are also siloed, making the patient have to go to multiple locations or work with different team members on site at those organizations. We saw this firsthand as we assisted a family in enrolling their deceased mother, Avila, into Medicaid. Through this process, we learned that their mother had lived and worked blocks away from the hospital. She'd even utilized the emergency room for things like flu and strep. However, like many uninsured and underinsured individuals, she did not look for care when she had stomach pain. As a result, a few short days after Avila arrived at the emergency room, she passed away from stomach cancer. At this moment, we realized that these processes were too costly and too antiquated and are a disservice to our community members, patients, and members today. And we realized that we had to do something. At that point, it was the catalyst for us to start Advicacia. We built a platform that's powerful and comprehensive. We allow for an integrated solution that automates the process and allows for consumer enablement. We reach the patients and the members where it's most convenient. And we also allow for workflow automation to help those that are assisting patients, like hospitals and plans today, enroll those individuals. Additionally, we are in 1,300 locations in 29 states. We are programmed for all 50 states. In the last 2 years, we've won the UCSF Health Award for Best in Patient Cost Savings, as well as the Next Award for Emerging Healthcare Companies. We know that with our footprint and growth, along with the converging and accelerating trends in the marketplace, such as shortages of staffing, a focus on social determinants of health, and other items, that we are well positioned for the $480 billion annual cost savings opportunity that's there today. This opportunity is there for providers and payers combined that allows them to have that cost savings by properly aligning individuals with the right benefit programs. We've been able to accomplish what we have to date with our amazing team. We have a wealth of experience in revenue cycle as well as social determinants of health. Ryan Brebner, my co-founder and CEO, has an 18-year background serving the uninsured and underinsured within revenue cycle. I have a 10-year background leading operations and implementation functionings for startups, as well as Jay Hanning, our CTO, has a 30-year experience working with consumer applications. Kathy Turner-Motley has a wealth of experience in Medicaid, leading teams of over hundreds of individuals across the country that are boots on the ground that understand the barriers that our communities face today. Meryl Franken has a 19-year background working in product as our CPO. Mark Curtis has a 30-year experience working in healthcare, specifically with consumer outreach. We know that with our raise and our focus on the market opportunity that's in front of us today, that hiring a sales engine and marketing team will allow us the scale that we need to help serve individuals across the country. We know that this raise will allow us the opportunity to enhance our product and our platform even further to reduce the friction for patients, members, and those teams that are helping to serve individuals. It'll also further automate and drive efficiencies for those teams. We appreciate your time today and thank you for learning more about Advicacia. I'm excited to hear your questions.
Thank you, Laura. Can you tell us more about your customer and who ultimately pays for your product?
Thank you for your question. We never charge the patient or the member. Our clients today include health plans and providers across the country. We also work with strategic healthcare organizations that are already helping patients today identify these programs and enroll. Our platform is used to help their team automate the process and assist more individuals.
Amazing work. Next, we have Hound. Based in Denver, Colorado, Hound is building the future of work for veterinary medicine by providing solutions for modern recruiting, veterinary employee engagement, and distributing at-home veterinary care. Over to you, Aidan.
Hi friends, I'm Aidan, co-founder and head of UX/UI at Hound. We're building the future of work in veterinary medicine. The pet care industry is pretty awesome. US pet owners spent about $123 billion on their pets last year, and that is up from $100 billion from the year before. And it's predicted the spending will grow to $275 billion by 2030. There are more pets than the children in the US and more homes with pets than the homes with kids. That said, we do have some big problems to solve, and it's also predicted by 2030 there will be 75 million US pets without access to care. A driving factor behind this is a struggling veterinary workforce and a lack of modern solutions to provide convenient veterinary care. We love our pets, and if we want them to continue receiving the care they need when they need it, we have to make sure that the professionals and practices providing that care are equipped with modern solutions. Hound is here to do exactly that. We're building the future of work in VetMed to help veterinary professionals work how they want, love the work they do, and provide more care for more pets. Hound is providing flexibility to veterinary professionals to work full or part-time jobs at one practice, relief work at multiple practices, and even providing care in the comfort of the pet owners' homes. We use advanced matching technology to connect workers to work opportunities across the nation. Our technology improves worker mobility, utilization, and career satisfaction. We have seen similar challenges in human healthcare, which have been addressed successfully by venture-backed healthcare future of work platforms. We're building proven models to veterinary medicine. We launched a modern veterinary recruiting platform, which is Scout, in Q4 2021. We already have over 7,000 veterinary professionals and 3,000 practices on our platform. In our first year, we grew larger than the industry incumbent, and we are actively launching an industry-first employee retention platform. These solutions combined allow us to rapidly aggregate thousands of highly specialized and skilled veterinary professionals and thousands of veterinary practices at minimal cost. By deeply and defensively owning the supply of providers and practices, with each practice servicing thousands of pets, we're building the infrastructure to deliver at-home care nationwide. This is an opportunity to create a billion-dollar business and to build something positively impactful to our industry at scale. We see each practice we partner with as an opportunity to generate over $100,000 per year through a mix of B2B SaaS and B2B2C services. Within our first few months of enabling billing for our B2B SaaS, we reached our track to clear the 200K ARR milestone by the end of this year. Within 4 years, we plan to achieve the $100 million revenue milestone and to create a category-defining solution. The solutions in market today are either outdated, not built for the VetMed, or very limited in their offerings. The status of our profession and the negative predictions that we are here to prevent are clear evidence that the solutions available today are not enough. We are partnering directly with veterinary practices to help them improve the employee experience with the modern recruiting and retention and offer modern care solutions for the modern pet owner. Hound offers a unique solution by consolidating talent solutions built specifically for veterinary practices and workers. And so far, the feedback has been great. Roughly 9% of us practices joined Scout since our Q4 launch. We've been described as beautiful and easy to use, truly exceptional and refreshing and inspiring. We worked with the world's largest veterinary employers, and 95% of our customers have self-service inbounded. Our NPS and CSAT metrics are also above industry benchmark. None of this would have been possible without a great product and a great team behind it. Our team has over 50 years of startup and veterinary experience. We have played key roles in launching, operating, and exiting 3 companies across the veterinary domain. And former owners from all of these companies have angel invested in our business. We also completed the world's top pet care accelerator program, and we're backed by category-leading investor and advisors. We have successfully raised our pre-seed and seed. We're now working to achieve our 2 million milestone, build density of professionals and practices in 50 metro markets, and prepare to launch HomeLove, our at-home care solution. We're always excited to connect with awesome partners and investors interested in helping us build a better, brighter future in VetMed. We like building awesome things with awesome people. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you share more about how you're acquiring veterinary workers and employers on the platform?
Every marketplace has a hard side and an easy side. Our easy side is the employers, and over 90% are inbound through organic search and referrals. The hard side of our marketplace is the workers, but we've done a good job of building ambassador programs, partnerships, and referral programs to drive thousands of workers to our platform. We've built relationships with students' organizations, professional organizations, affinity organizations, and veterinary groups. We have over 50 social media ambassadors, and roughly 50% of our workers join on a referral.
Thank you, Team Hound. Now, I would love to introduce Laura Noonan, Head of Growth at EMA. Based in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, EMA provides the most advanced and least intrusive emotion analytics for websites to improve user experience and digital well-being.
Every product makes us feel something. In a world of big data, we do not place enough weight on metrics that zero in on how the user feels as they move through the funnel. How users feel as they interact with and browse content online is central to understanding your conversion metrics. But how can you quantify how users feel? You might have thought it impossible. And well, it was. Until now. My name is Laura, and we're EMA. EMA helps you understand your user by identifying the emotions that lead them to engage with your content. Are they frustrated when they click your Contact Us call to action? Are they excited when they opt to schedule a demo? Are they bored by the endless learn more options that are available? Let me paint you a more detailed picture. Jenny visits your app to get a head start on her Christmas shopping. She sees the perfect gift for her mother-in-law and enthusiastically adds to cart. But as soon as she does so, she's faced with an offensive error message and malfunctioning product link that prevent her from completing her desired purchase. She's deflated and immediately starts to feel frustrated as she attempts to add to cart for a second time, only to be met with the same error message. Now officially irked and frantically tapping her phone screen, Jenny turns to your customer support channels for assistance. Imagine if your customer support team knew how Jenny felt before ever having spoken with her. Knowing how Jenny feels based on her interaction with your content would enable your team to adapt and optimize the content Jenny encounters, as well as open the conversation with her empathetically from the outset, armed with a course of action that will solve Jenny's problem. EMA's patented gesture-based emotion analysis prioritizes accuracy and puts user privacy first. With the most advanced and least intrusive emotion analytics on the market, you can influence user emotions to increase engagement and mitigate grievance. To put it in perspective, EMA's machine learning algorithms can detect emotion with 95% accuracy, while human accuracy ranks significantly lower. Our algorithm maps 4 emotions: awe, interest, scurry, and boredom. Understanding the behavioral tendencies of your users enables you to strategize efficiently and deliver fully optimized content to garner the most success. Understand objectives and intentions, measure operational goals, spot trends and discern the cause of churn, gain real insight into the content that resonates and persuades. I'd be remiss at this point not to mention how this is all possible. All of this is made possible by the expert team behind EMA. You may be familiar with the term cyborg. You know, I'll be back. Good old Arnie. Over the course of 10 years, our CEO worked with esteemed scientist Dr. Manfred Clynes, who is credited as having coined the term cyborg. Dr. Clynes was also responsible for discovering clear patterns in the expression of emotions through movement. Our CEO went on to combine this theory with her knowledge in software engineering and artificial intelligence to develop our groundbreaking algorithms. We connect, grow, and augment our lives by way of clicks, scrolls, and taps on our touchscreens, trackpads, and mice. Our tool maps the emotional response of users as they click, scroll, and tap through content. With Emo's non-intrusive emotion AI, you can manage user expectation and deliver unrivaled user experiences by way of the highly accurate emotion analytics we make available to you. Our secret sauce lies in our ability to place an emotional lens on a mechanical world. Understanding the emotional framework of your users is so important, and arguably one of the most difficult factors in establishing a successful business. User experience has a direct impact on revenues. 35% of revenues are left on the table on account of bad user experience across the e-commerce industry every year. At Emo, our vision is to power the digital world with emotional awareness and empower users and product owners with deeper insight. Using Emo, our clients can understand exactly what users want. With our analytics, our clients have already seen increases in conversion up to 20%, increases in engagement up to 40%, fully optimized UX strategies, as well as 60% increases in time saved. It's time to reclaim those dollars left on the table with Emo. Develop a more well-rounded understanding of your user and add color to the black and white stats you are so used to referencing. Assess behavior with real-time feedback. Apply changes instantaneously and see the emotional journey of users to convert and scale. It's time to reclaim those dollars left on the table with Emo. Develop a more well-rounded understanding of your user and add color to the black and white stats you are so used to referencing. Assess behavior with real-time feedback. Apply changes instantaneously and see the emotional journey of users to convert and scale. The emotion detection market is estimated to reach $36 billion by 2024. So get ahead of the competition and register today to start mapping the emotional layer of your customer journey. Double down on the positive and offload the negative with Emo.
Thank you, Laura. How is Emo different from other traditional app analytical tools?
Yep, great question. Unlike current approaches that attempt to intrusively measure emotions using face, text, and voice analytics, our gesture-based SaaS is non-invasive and instant. Users don't talk, write, or display their face while browsing content, but they do touch their phone, 1,000 times a day, in fact. Emo's gesture AI can understand exactly how users feel as they browse digital platforms and interact with content. Whether they're considering offerings in a general, non-committal way, attempting to source something specific, or looking to source an immediate solution, our tool can understand the user's emotional profile and associated receptivity throughout their entire journey to pinpoint users most susceptible to conversion and offer stellar, personalized experiences to each individual user. This is something that traditional app analytics can't do. Our patented solution is easy to implement and scale and even easier to use. It can be used in tandem with Google Analytics, and it can be integrated with your system in just 2 minutes. Got 2 minutes? Register now at emo.com.
All right, everyone, we have 2 more amazing founders to hear from. Now I'll hand it over to Amanda from Notice Ninja, a digital notice compliance platform that is innovating the way companies manage and resolve agency notices.
Hi, my name is Amanda Reinecke, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Notice Ninja. Notice Ninja is a digital notice compliance platform that's innovating how companies are managing and resolving agency notices. Put simply, we take paper notices and manual processes, and we convert them into automated digital workflows that provide resolution pathways for our users to follow. So what's the problem? Well, there's an ever-increasing number of notices that are being sent to companies from state and regulatory agencies. In the US, there's 10,000 jurisdictions and over 89,000 agencies that are sending out notices. The IRS alone is sending out over 500,000 paper notices a day. We have one client who receives 40,000 notices a month. And if you don't pay attention to these notices, or they get lost, they get misplaced, it can be expensive. Companies are paying over $200 billion in penalties and fines every year. Notice Ninja brings order to the avalanche of notices. We start by scanning PDF files for key data items that allow us to classify the notice and generate a best practice workflow. Tasks are auto-distributed to users, departments, or third-party vendors, and resolution pathways guide users to complete the workflow. Our clients kindly refer to us as the Salesforce for tax and compliance professionals. Notice Ninja's intelligent design is providing management oversight with detailed reporting. This gives them valuable and actionable insight that helps save the company time, money, and reputation. So we've had a lot of success and we're already in revenue with 40 customers and growing. Once companies adopt Notice Ninja, they start to apply it to other areas within their organization, and we're able to grow with them. As demonstrated by one of our clients who had over 23 million in penalties and fines that were accruing interest at 1% per day. They partnered with Notice Ninja, and we were able to digitize their notices and automate their workflows, saving them millions. So how big is the market? Well, we're in the enterprise governance, risk, and compliance space, and it's projected to be worth $134.8 billion by 2030, with software being a leading driver in the space, poising Notice Ninja for scaling success. Our business model, it begins with a platform fee. We have 4 tiers of pricing, and it's based on the client's annual notice volume and their user count. This helps us identify which of our products are right for our clients. We also have transactional fees, we have add-on modules, and we have managed services. But our basic product is getting on the platform where we implement a client success land and expand strategy. The way we've been going to market is by attending conferences and events where our co-founder speaks, and he stands out as a thought leader in our industry. We've also had success with client and advisor referrals and strategic alliances, while utilizing also our CRM system that strategically markets to our ideal customer profiles and drives quality leads into our sales funnel. So if you're a Notice Ninja client, what do you care about? Well, our clients, they want an automated solution that's digitized and it ensures that it's capturing all of their notice data. Notice Ninja is the only complete and automated solution with the expertise to capture, automate, and execute around federal, state, city, local, and international notices on a single centralized platform. So why us? Well, Rick and I, we've been working together for over 20 years. We've already had a successful exit in 2008, and combined with our board members and our team, we're experts at the federal, state, city, and local levels, and we're experts at digitized processes with workflow automation with decades of collective experience. The need to digitize and automate agency notice management has never been greater. The complexities, the increased jurisdictions, and the penalties are all on the rise. We're seeking strategic partners, alliances, investors, and introductions to potential clients who could benefit from our solution. I invite you to please join us on our journey as we bring simple solutions to complex compliance problems as we become the leader in digital workflow automation software delivered as a service. Thank you. I'm Amanda with Notice Ninja. Please feel free to reach out to me directly.
A question for you, Amanda. Who else is in this space, and why hasn't someone built this already?
Oh, thanks, Ashley. So currently in our space, there's Canopy, ClearTax, and Stream. But mainly 90% of the time, we're running into Microsoft Excel spreadsheets and manual processes, which are inefficient and error-prone. And they're not providing an automated digital solution to this really complex problem. It's truly a niche space, and it seems to be a bit of a hidden pain point. But we were aware of the level of the pain because we came from an industry that had a really high volume of notices, and we saw the trend of growth in notice complexities. When we surveyed companies who experienced the pain, we identified a clear need for a solution, and that set us out to design and deploy Notice Ninja.
Thank you. Well, everyone, we have reached our final presenter. Last but certainly not least, I'm thrilled to introduce Arintra. Headquartered in Austin, Texas, Arintra helps hospitals and clinics save time and maximize reimbursement by automating their medical coding. Take it away, Preeti.
Hi, my name is Preeti Bhargav, and we are part of Team Arintra. We are focused on improving revenue for US hospitals by automating their medical coding. We are backed by Y Combinator and now Google for Startups Accelerator. We have the perfect team to build a deep tech healthcare product. Together, my co-founder and I have 20 plus years of deep tech technical experience with 5 plus years in US healthcare and 60 plus patents and publications. My co-founder Nitesh Shroff did his PhD from University of Maryland with a specialization in computer vision and medical imaging. He was an early employee at 2 deep tech startups, a self-driving car startup, Zoox, acquired by Amazon, and at Light, acquired by John Deere. I have a PhD from University of Maryland in NLP and machine learning. I have spent a significant amount of time at research labs such as Xerox PARC and Samsung Research America, as well as 2 B2B startups, Lithium Cloud and Demandbase. We have 25 plus full-time team members, as well as the right set of healthcare advisors and leaders from top institutes such as Johns Hopkins and Cerner, helping us build Arintra the right way. US hospitals are losing $125 billion annually in the form of denied insurance claims, under reimbursement because of undercoding, and poor cash flow with A/R days more than 50. So why is medical coding important and has such a huge impact on the hospital revenue? Medical coding is the most critical component of the revenue cycle of hospitals. In a typical encounter, the patient goes and meets the doctor, and then the doctor writes a lengthy and detailed clinical note as part of the encounter summary. This note is then taken up by the coder, who then codes it up into an actual insurance claim, which is then sent to the insurance company, who then processes it and pays it to the provider. Arintra is automating this medical coding process. The current manual coding process is plagued with delays and inaccuracies. There are multiple vendors, both in-house and offshore. There are large coder shortages. Undercoding and overcoding happens all the time. And the long coding times often delay the revenues and extend the A/R days, leading to the $125 billion annual revenue loss. Arintra automates medical coding with zero human intervention. We process the entire chart, including assessment, HPI, problems, medications, past medical history, ROS, medications list, and our advanced machine learning and NLP models take this chart and convert it into a claim with the right CPT and ICD-10 codes. For example, this is a sample chart of a real patient and the codes generated by Arintra for it. Arintra is 5x faster, 16% more accurate, and 33% of the cost of the traditional human coders. We have an ARR of $170,000 and 25 SMB customers, mostly through founder-led sales. We have developed a unique insight into a niche multi-billion-dollar opportunity and are now moving to enterprises. We have a weighted sales pipeline of over $1 million. It's a B2B SaaS model with a $12 billion ARR opportunity. 12 billion claims are coded annually in US, and we charge about $1 per claim. That is a $12 billion ARR opportunity, and at a nominal 0.8% of the market, Arintra becomes a unicorn. Less than 1% of the market is tapped so far, so this market is ripe for disruption. Arintra is focusing on the largest specialty, primary and urgent care, as compared to some of our competitors. We are raising a $3 million seed round to accelerate our product R&D and enterprise deployment. Our Series A target is $4 million in ARR. We are absolutely on a rocket ship. It's a $12 billion ARR market, very niche opportunity. Our customers love us with wide adoption and 100% retention. And we have a weighted sales pipeline of over $1 million. And we have just the right team of AI PhDs and clinical experts to build this. We would love to have you on this journey to make healthcare affordable and accessible by addressing administrative inefficiencies. Thank you.
Now, our last question for the day. Besides the productivity gains, are there other benefits that can be achieved through automated coding?
That's a great question. Other than productivity, we improve revenue for our provider organizations by reducing claim denials, by increasing accuracy and consistency, and decreasing their A/R days.
Well, everyone, that's a wrap. I can't believe another inspiring Women Founder cohort is coming to a close. On behalf of Google and everyone who made this program possible, a tremendous thank you. Thank you to the 12 startups and the impressive women who lead them. It has been an absolute honor and privilege to work alongside you all. Thank you to the Googlers and partners who have generously offered mentorship and support to the startup teams, and for all the work you do for the startup ecosystem. Thank you to the investors tuning in today for recognizing the disparity in capital deployed to women-led companies and for working to be part of the solution. If you want to connect with any of the startup teams you heard from today, please reach out. And lastly, thanks to all of you, our viewers, for tuning in to learn more about these amazing companies. And with that, wishing you all a happy holiday, and we will see you next year. Thanks, everyone.